usually something brief, but it is something that I know with every piece that I own what the artist thought about that particular piece. So I want to start real quickly, if that's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. We focus with persevere.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about this already, we focus with persevere. This session was done at a very emotional time in my life. I had a dispute with the band that I love and still do, and we were shooting. The session was on, and these emotions have come out onto. They've come out of me, and we now have them on this canvas. We focus with persevere. This is what we're focusing on. It's a private salute and a private stand that says I will respect and honour the student drummer. That's the guys. I don't know if we've got any little ones in here tonight. I'm not sure if we do. But if we have any young percussionists, then it's dedicated to them. It's dedicated to anybody 80 years old around. I'm not there yet. Anybody close to 80, still playing drums, this is your painting. It's for you. It's my love saying, hey, when we get kicked in the ass, when we're going through bad times, when we're going through sickness and what have you, let's pick up our sticks and let's focus and persevere. That's what we do. That's what we do as human beings, and that's what we do as drummers. And that's what this drummer is doing. And I've been in the action of focusing and persevering. It's an action, not a thought. It's not something that you sit down and think about. It's you actually get into action and you do it, and that's what makes it go round. So that's the private side of this, and for everyone here tonight, it's for you as viewers and just as plain good human beings. That throughout your hardships and through the things that you have to face, or some of the things that you're fearing, or things that might be in your future that you know about that you're going to have to go through, then we focus and we persevere. That's what we do, and that's what I've found that I've had to do. So, and I'm not saying that you have to do it, but it's a really strong suggestion. And so that's what that's about. This is me playing jazz. Nice lighted sticks, and I'm having fun. I'm having a really good time. I'm watching the lighted sticks, childlike, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the things that I'm playing, and you can see the differences. That's jazz. That's not jazz. That's not jazz. And that's not jazz. However, that's jazz. So they speak for themselves, and that's roughly it. I know we've got I'm very aware of our time, and I know we've got to meet everybody. So.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about this one. This is an important piece. It's Fire and Brimstone. Can you talk? And these are kind of sisters in a way.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Well, actually, it's this one here, Corey, Fire and Brimstone, and over here we've got Intuitive Peril, and the reason why they're consistent is because they both stem from childhood. They're both about the child, and my God, I didn't realise there's something. Hey, back there. Yeah, so just saying hello. Yeah. Fire and Brimstone. I came up with the title because when I first saw that, it's like, oh my God, I was quite afraid of it actually. It's demonic, and it's like, wow. Please keep in mind that when I was playing, I was extremely angry, and I was full of a lot of negative feelings about things, and so my energy force was quite strong, and when I saw it, it reminded me of something that I learnt as a child, which was we learn it in Halloween, and it was Fire and Brimstone. and it's about the witch on the broomstick, and you know it's safe. As a child, it's safe. We kind of have fun with it. Some of us might have a nightmare about it, but usually it's like it's kind of safe. It's okay. It's not safe when you get to 14 years old. It becomes unsafe, and when you're 15, it's not safe, and when you're 20, fire and brimstone becomes something completely different. And fire and brimstone could be anything. It could be Vietnam. It could be the loss of life. It could be getting in a bar fight that you're never going to come out of. It's the hell that you feel when the drugs don't work. It could be anything. It's meeting yourself and realizing that you are really in it. For me, in my particular case, when I was 21, 22 years old, I was playing fire and brimstone in a wonderful band that was raucous, heavy, and just was completely out, fully out. And so that's what that reminds me of. The difference is that this is important to me because it's fire and brimstone, and I couldn't resist adding in my pocket. And in my pocket is there because I've come through and I've grown through a lot of difficulties. So what it means to me is that I feel in a safe place on the inside most of the time. That doesn't mean to say I'm not immune, just like any of you guys, from getting sick. The last couple of months will prove that. But I feel safer now than what I did when I was 22, 23 years old. And I feel that I know who this guy is. I know what this is. It's my anger. I know the shapes. I've seen it, and I've kind of been through it. And now it's in my pocket. I can walk around with it much as I could when I was a child and put the fire and brimstone in my pocket. So we announced earlier that when I came up with these titles, and which was in 2012. Earlier we made an announcement for those of you who weren't here. I asked Corey when we first did this. I said, look, I want to hold on to these titles. Let me keep these titles because I might want to use them for some songs. And lo and behold, about 2 weeks ago, I finished writing a song called "Fire and Brimstone in My Pocket." So, and I'm hoping that it'll come out. I hope somewhere in the universe at some point relatively soon. And it's a killer song. It kicks ass. Yes! And we've got some. I talked to a couple of special friends of mine, and they've already agreed to play on it. They love it already. So, good. And it's right now the format is me playing keyboards and singing on it. But you can be sure we're going to put some pretty heavy guitars on there and kick its ass.
Okay, let's go down to Indestructible Youth, because I've talked to some Indestructible Youth owners.
Yes, Indestructible Youth owners. Okay.
Oh no, not Intuitive. Indestructible.
Oh,
Sorry.
Indestructible.
Oh wait, no, you were just talking about Intuitive. So
yes.
You want to go?
So I have to go there.
Yes.
Because it's the same thing. This comes from the child self. Intuitive Peril comes from when I saw it. It reminded me of when I was a child, and being in fear and not quite understanding what was going on, and being around some pretty. In hindsight, I can look back and I know that the people that I was meeting as a child weren't particularly nice. Sometimes they'd shout really loud and they'd use profanity, and I'd never heard profanity. And when you're a kid and you hear profanity, it really stings. It really stings. It did me. It didn't come natural. And I lived in a house where I could hear the man and his wife next door in the most unpleasant way. I'm not going to describe it. I know we've got a mixed audience. We've got some younger people. And those are the sounds that I listened to, and I intuitively knew that wasn't right. See, we're all born with intuition. Sometimes we don't take any notes, so we go screw intuition. I'm going to walk down. I'm going to jump down off the building. Screw intuition. Most people call that stupid or suicidal. But whatever. But we have that intuition. We know, and intuitive peril came to me as something that will that can we can go through life, and the big people seem like they're big monsters. They only have to. They'll say things sometimes, and it's like it's really scary, you know. And that's the intuitive peril that I'm talking about. Again, just like fire and brimstone, when we reach age 10 and 12 and 15 and going into our teenage years, intuitive peril becomes something else. It becomes something more sinister, and it becomes something that isn't healthy at all for a lot of us. And that's the nature, roughly, of insurance peril. I'm kind of, I'm cutting some corners here, guys, and I apologise for that. It means a lot to me. It's about us as children and the things that we grow through and the things that we learn from. And I hope today that all of our intuition is healthy. Because, in other words, you know, we're not going to cross the road when the car's coming at us at 60 miles an hour. That's our intuition working. So I've learned to listen to my intuition a little bit more, you know, and if it smells like, you know what, if it smells like that, it probably is, you know. So I've learned to trust my intuition.
So when you're talking to your friend about that one, whoever had bought that, make sure you tell them exactly what he said on that. Let me ask you if we could talk about Indestructible Youth.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Indestructible Youth is part of the same family, and I saw the picture, and I looked at it. I studied it, and I went, "What the heck's this?" There's some nice, actually, some really cool stuff in this picture. In terms of, you can see the rims of my drums, and I just love that. I love drums. So the shape, feel, touch of drums is just so, it's like I love it. I've been like this since I've been 5 years old, and it's crazy. And you can see the arcs, but more so you can see two energy fields, at least I can. And these two energy fields battering each other, and I couldn't help but look at it and think, it looks like it's fighting, and it reminds me of my youth, and it reminds me of things that we do when we're younger, you know, and it reminded me of my sons. And it's there, and I added a word to it called Indestructible, because that's exactly how I felt when I was 18 years old. I watched all you guys were falling on your ass, but I was just skipping along. You know, I was slipping and sliding, you know, and I was just slightly walking past all the crap. It's like, I'm gonna make it, you know, because you don't think it's gonna happen to you, you know. You think, because we're indestructible, man. We're so indestructible. And of course, I joined up with 3 other indestructible people, who I'm not going to mention, and we played indestructible music. But that's what that is, indestructible.
Okay, I want to